So, Alessio, can you tell us a little bit more about what Triangle Arts is and what it's set to do, and where did you set it, where it's been implemented?
Yeah. Triangle Arts Trust is a network. It's a network of artists and arts organization. It exists in about 40 different countries around the world. I say about because it's a very flexible network. It's very organic. It has within it has organizations that are permanent, that have spaces. Others are just artist collectives that do activities that are more sporadic. But at the same time, whether they're continuous or not, they just keep this sort of fluid activities alive over time and over a huge geographic sort of space. It started off. It started in 1982, and it started as a workshop in upstate New York. And the main aim of the workshop was to provide a space for artists where they would have the time and the opportunity to be around each other, to develop new ideas, to experiment with new techniques, to be influenced from each other, to really focus on dialogue, focus on progress, on process, and to really be in a space that was away from the museums, away from the commercial gallery, where artists could just have this opportunity not to focus on a product, but really to focus on process. So from this workshop in 1982 in upstate New York, slowly the local group there, the whole Triangle project was founded by Robert Loder and the sculptor Anthony Caro, who had this idea of bringing artists together. But from there, they invited artists from different parts of the world. The first group was a South African duo. 2 artists from South Africa were invited, and then they took the model back to their own country. And this was a very successful project in South Africa for many reasons. One of them was that for the first time, black and white artists could work together, because in the 80s, during the apartheid, this was unheard of and completely progressive, that you'd have this situation. And then from there, they wanted to invite artists from other parts of Africa. Some boycotted South Africa for obvious reasons of the apartheid. And then they transported, or rather they redid the workshop in Zimbabwe, and from there it spread within the region. So from a position of organizers, Anthony Caro and Robert Loder became almost the facilitators. In fact, what we talk, people like in my role within Triangle, sort of organizers or directors, we really are more like facilitators, making sure that we find the means and we support artists in developing these projects around the world. And in fact, from there is then spread, because artists would invite other artists, some would go home, start it in their own country, and it spread from Asia to Africa to Latin America now. And I think in recent years, because of the support from Ford Foundations and big international agencies, the workshop, the network has been able to develop more rapidly than it did at the beginning, and we were able to start workshops, who then some developed into residencies, some doing workshops. So the place is really organic. The development of the network is really organic. And it's going on, it's still developing now. So one of the things that I do is really follow artists in their project. We got your project, the Xerem now, here in Home and Abroad, here in Portugal. There are new places. We just finished the first workshop in Palestine last year. There'll be hopefully one in Iran, and more coming on, and sort of the concept, the philosophy is spreading. And I think one of the important elements of Triangle is that it's not a franchise. It's really a group of independent organizations or independent artists who have a common goal, which is that of providing spaces to make art and to engage with the local public, but do so from a local perspective, not something planted in, but actually responding to a need that is local, but it's also a need to engage with the peers from other parts of the world.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up from the needs, of the need to set up the residency in Portugal, and they came when I met you in Mozambique, in Maputo. There, after being away for a long time, and I came back, and there was not many structures with that setup, where actually they were artist-led and they were made for artists. And I mean, there is a need for Portugal, I can say, as being Portuguese, and living here and knowing what's happening in terms of the residency structures. There is some, but not so many set in that mold. But what I would like you to tell me, and maybe how do you see the Portuguese model that we're trying to create here, or the triangle arts in Portugal, being of importance for the network, the triangle arts internationally?
I think first of all the local need already makes it a part of Triangle. The fact that it's local and it's connected with the rest of the world, and that's a sort of the focus and the philosophy makes your group very much part of Triangle. How does it benefit Triangle? I think Triangle is a joint effort. It's not the work of one or two people. It certainly isn't my work. I didn't do it and I'm not making it. It's actually the artists that are making it, and it's each group within the network is also the network. So I know it sounds really strange, but what I'm trying to say is that the more the better, in a sense. What we want to do is provide opportunity for artists. We want to provide opportunity also for thinking international art in a broader way. So each new jigsaw in this puzzle that is Triangle is relevant in as much as they open up the debate and they contribute both to the discussion about international art, emerging practice, dialogue process, etc. But also it continues to challenge this idea of, it supports artists, and it challenges this idea of what it means to be an artist in the 21st century working, and who is your peers, where do you connect, who is the person that you exchange ideas with, how does work enter a circuit? These are big discussions that artists ask themselves, and they ask them through the production of their work. But I think it's a bigger discussion as well, because Triangle is a model of practice, but it's also a model of a strategy for discussing contemporary art. So that's where I think that every new member is essential. Sure. But at the same time, you're not forcing anybody, because it's almost like a voluntary contribution to a dialogue that keeps growing, that I think is very relevant.
I think we also will provide opportunities for other artists from other residencies
absolutely,
to come here.
Absolutely.
It's really our interest to make that international connections and interchange.
Absolutely. The provision of, being an opportunity, the more people join the group, the more opportunities there will be. And also, people and organizations and collectives bring in their own network. So, we're not like a private club. Everything is very fluid. So you don't just join the network yourself. You join with your own friends, your own connections, your own structures. And that can only benefit the other people that are involved in the network.
Thank you.